What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the Hot List. I come to y'all Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we talk a little bit about real estate. We talk about a house that is new to the market. Maybe it's been on the market and had a recent price reduction, or there is something unique about the property that I want you guys to know and I want to share with you guys. Also, I answer a question of the day that is submitted by you, the viewers, watching the Hot List. So whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this on the replay, make sure you get those questions to me, whether it's through Facebook or whether it is through my phone number. You can call or text me. And this week, just like any other week, we have a sponsor of the week that I will get into shortly. But first, we're going to talk about a property that is newer to the market. It's a very cool, very unique property, so make sure you guys check it out. The address is 406 Cherry in Americus. This is a 3-bed, 3-bath, has a 2-car garage, has 2,736 square feet of finished space, currently listed at $199,500, courtesy of Eck Real Estate. This house is very cool, very unique. It's a 1.5-story house, got the rustic lodge look to it. It's got a balcony. And it has a fenced-in yard. So very, very cool, nice fenced-in yard, covered patio, and you've got a fire pit out back as well. Now, the kitchen is absolutely phenomenal. Whoever did this kitchen just absolutely nailed it. It's got an island that's got a stove on it. It's got a breakfast bar. They've got plenty of countertop space. The cabinets are just amazing. So make sure you really check this out. Just click the link and it's going to take you right to my website so you guys can see this house for yourself. And if you have questions or you want to book an appointment to go look at this house, you can reach me right through my website. Before we get to the question of the day, I want to recognize and thank this week's sponsor of the week, who is Max Out Entertainment. That is Max Out Entertainment. They are located right here in Emporia. Kelly Maxfield is the owner-operator of this. And if you guys don't know who he is, what he does, you are missing out. The energy level that he brings when he is doing, whether it's a block party, whether it's DJ, whether he is emceeing, it is just absolutely phenomenal. And you do not want to miss an opportunity to book him at your event. Most recently, Kelly just helped the Lyon County Boosters with a bowling event that we had over this last weekend and just did an absolutely phenomenal job. The energy level that he brought was just absolutely incredible, and we couldn't have asked for a better DJ or MC for our event. So make sure, I also included a link. It's going to take you right to his Facebook page. Now, his availability is very slim. He fills up quick. He does the best he can, but you got to get those reservations in sooner rather than later, or you are going to miss out on one of the best DJs and MCs around. So, question of the day. This one took me by surprise a little bit. I wasn't sure how to react to this one. Do I need to prep my HVAC unit for the Saharan Dust storm that is supposed to hit later this week? Man, that's a tough question, and involved a little bit of research on my part. So for those that don't know, there is a Saharan Dust storm or blanket that's going to be coming over part of the U.S. The wind has been strong enough and pushed a lot of that dust from the Sahara Desert in Africa over to the U.S. and is expected to hit parts of this starting between Wednesday or Thursday. And so here's a couple things that I've come up with. So here's 3 things that you need to know about your air filter that you can that you can do and you can prepare your house for with this upcoming event. So obviously the air filtration system is going to be very crucial and an integral part of your home's ventilation system, especially during summer, fall, where there's generally more wind and more dust that's kicked up. Without an air filter in place, you're going to have a lot more dust and airborne particles that are going to be distributed throughout your house and throughout the ductwork in your house as well. Excuse me. So what this is going to do for people like myself, it's going to aggravate your allergies. It can potentially reduce the airflow coming out of the vents that feed your house and possibly create some bigger problems over time. So this doesn't mean that you can just grab any filter and just slap it into your unit. You need the right air filter for your home. That way you're getting the most out of your heating and cooling system. So we're going to go over the 3 things that you need to know about air filters. And hopefully this is going to, by going through these 3 things, hopefully this is going to answer your question about what you can do or needs to be done to prep. Number 1 is, where is your air filter located? So first thing you need to do before you do anything else is know exactly where your air filter is located. May seem obvious, right? Well, some are harder to find than others, just depending on the system. And depending on your system, some systems may not just have one filter. My HVAC unit has one filter. I have sold a couple houses that the units are a little bit newer, a little bit more efficient. So I've seen some with 2 filters. I've seen some with 3 filters. So you just got to be careful, know where it's at, and know how many you're going to need. Some are going to be located behind some type of grate in a wall. Others may be in similar odd locations, or maybe they're going to be designed to blend in with a surrounding wall. For example, mine is in the air handler. So check your air handler, or if you have a rooftop unit, you may check that as well, because like I said, mine is in the air handler, so I have to pop off a couple covers in order to get to mine. Now, some of these, like I mentioned, that may have multiple filters, may also have a split ventilation system. So that means there's multiple intakes, which means there's multiple filters. So make sure if yours has multiple intakes, you are checking all of those intakes, so you're changing all the filters. Number 2 is where we're going to get into answering that Saharan Dust question. Number 2 is choosing an air filter. So you've located your filter. Now you got to choose the right one for your needs. This includes the size of the filter, the MERV rating, and the style, like a HEPA filter. So the MERV rating is the minimum efficiency reporting value. So with the size of it is what we're going to cover first. So most HVAC units, they're designed for different filters. So if you get one that doesn't fit, you're going to have trouble not only getting it in place, but keeping it in place. So here's a couple different things that you can do if the air filter you replace doesn't have the size or the dimensions on it when you pull it out. Number 1, you can measure the area where the filter is located or mounted. Or if there's a filter in there, pull that filter out and you can measure that. And most of the time, they're going to have the dimensions listed somewhere on them. So just make sure you look for those. Then we've got the MERV rating, which again is the minimum efficiency reporting value. Why is that important? What does that mean? This tells you how good of a filter you're buying. So with this, a kind of a lower MERV rating is around 6. This is going to be 30% to 50% efficient, capturing larger particles like dust, mold, or pet dander. You jump a little bit higher to a MERV rating of 8, you jump from about 50% clear up to a little over 70%, and this is going to capture some of those same particles, plus it's going to capture some smaller particles like pollen and your dust mites. The MERV rating out of 11 is going to capture a large, more of your large particles. It's going to be about 85% efficiency rating, and this is also going to capture, like auto exhaust. So if that's important, depending on where you live and what surrounding you're in, maybe that is something that you're gonna want to look into. Then you've got one of the higher standard ratings of 13, which is 90% efficiency, and this is going to be large and medium particles like smoke, bacteria, and even some of the odors. Sorry. Then we get to the style like your HEPA filter, which is your high efficiency particular air filter. In the U.S., these are extremely popular because to be HEPA qualified, it has to remove 99.97% of all size particles, large or small. So with this one, these are most popular because their MERV rating can be 17 to 20 depending on the style of filter that you get. So these are going to be a little more expensive, but these are going to give you a higher rating. So this may be something that you want to look into to prep for that Saharan dust storm that is supposedly going to hit the U.S. And finally, number 3, which is going to wrap up our 3 things you need to know: air filter maintenance. And this is going to tie in to something as well. So if you haven't replaced your air filter or don't know a whole lot about your air filter, make sure you pay attention to this one. So this is more than just installing a new filter. Depending on the filter, you really got to keep in mind what style that you're getting, because some are going to be required to change monthly, quarterly, or maybe twice a year. My filters, for example, I change twice a year. I change in May and I change in November. That's just me. If you have a different style of filter or you want to replace it more often, if you or your family are prone to some type of allergies, I would recommend replacing those a little more often. Also, what you're going to keep in mind that a lot of people forget, you need to clean the grates and the vents as well. So all you got to do is just get your vacuum, get one of those little brush adapters, and just go over and clean those grates and clean those vents. Failing to do this and change these filters is going to reduce airflow. It's going to reduce your system efficiency overall, and it could potentially reduce the life of your HVAC unit. So those are 3 things that you need to know right now before, and keep in mind and do before that Saharan dust hits the U.S. I would recommend, checking these things out, because the filters are pretty inexpensive. They're most of the time they're easy to get to, easy to find. So make sure, number 1, you know where your filter is located, so you know where it's at. Then you got to make sure that you choose the right filter that you want to do based on your and your family's needs, whether it's dust allergies, pollen, smoke, bacteria, some type of odor. And then make sure you continue to maintain it, not just once, but throughout the year. So that's what I got for you guys today in the Hot List. So thank you for watching the Hot List with Matt in the Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.